things over to SpenceSpeedruns for Resident Evil 2. Please do take it away.
Oh, thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Emerald said there, my name's SpenceSpeedruns, formerly known as Dan Spence 94. I am a primary Resident Evil and Devil May Cry speedrunner, but of course for this event I had to bust out the old Resident Evil 2, the original, in dropped in 1998. It's the PC version, so none of them pesky door transitions are going to get in our way, which is great. And as they also said there, the Zoolander percent was met. So this is brilliant. So Zoolander, just to give a bit of background, is exactly how it sounds. If you've ever seen the film, you know Ben Stiller in the film states that he cannot turn left. He's not ambi-turner, I think is the correct phrase. So as you can see here, I've just shown my control scheme. So for forward, it's 5, down, it's 2. To left is P, which we're going to go nowhere near, and to turn right is number 3. So left key is entirely disabled, and you can see in the bottom right hand side I do have my control scheme there, so you can see what keys are being pressed in what order. Now of course we're going to be playing Leon's scenario on the normal difficulty. This is the most popular speedrun, and it's the only one for Zoolander that actually has a leaderboard for it. So without further ado, I'll give a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to get straight into it. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's roll. So a quick thing to note as well is that I am allowed to use auto aim for turning as well. That's actually allowed in the rule set. So if you see me just aiming randomly, that's because I actually want to turn, and because I can't turn left, it's actually a quicker way of turning, as you can see there. So most of the rooms we are going to be running straight through on, as you can see. A lot of the dodges that you'd see in a normal Leon run do apply, but we also have to kind of do a bit of like a spinning on the spot kind of motion just to get through it unscathed. If you see me taking a lot of damage, that's fine. For Zoolander, it's completely allowed and it's normal. I do have my live split running, so I can see my health. But if we drop into caution, we will be running for a green herb straight away. Also, this is Kendo. He owns the local gun shop. We're going to see him for a total of about 20 seconds, and then we're just going to run out the back door. Sorry, mate. As you may have noticed, we're in a bit of a rush. So poor Kendo, he gets eaten, and then we carry on. So here we're going to take damage intentionally, so we can get a nice little dodge here. That's unfortunate. The hope there is that both of those zombies go down, but if they don't both go down, not a massive deal. We can still do it. We can afford to take 4 bites. Each bite is 30 HP out of the 200 that we have. So if we drop below 100, that's when we go into caution and our turning speed's vastly going to decrease. But you're going to see a lot of this spinning on the spot, like I said earlier, and a lot of aiming. That's unfortunate as well. It is very volatile, this run, but it is very fun to do and very fun to watch, I won't lie. So hopefully I can get this door. The door hitboxes are very precise, to say the least. So you'll see me doing that a lot. So quick shooting in this game, I'll explain in a couple of moments once we get into safety. So you can quick shoot in this game by mashing the aim button whilst holding the shoot button down. That's going to come in handy a lot, especially when it comes to the boss fights later on. But it also helps us stagger a couple of zombies as and when we need to. So we've finally made it to the RPD. It only took 2 minutes. And the best thing about Zoolander as a run for Resident Evil 2 is, even though my estimate there is a lot longer than a normal run, it's actually only 3 or 4 minutes slower than a normal Leon A run. For myself, anyway. But here's Marvin as well. Marvin is one of the best characters in this game other than Leon.
You must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but it looks like...
We're going to get a lot of exposition here, which basically just goes over the events of the first game, if anyone's never played the first game.
About 2 months ago. There was this
I'm not going to talk too
incident
much over it. I'm just going to let
involving
the amazing voice
in a
acting play
mansion
out.
located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this started to happen.
You gotta love the
Hang
voice
in there.
acting in
Don't
1998.
worry
It
about
really
me.
is a thing of its own.
Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine, but I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
Spoiler alert, we do come back for him, but it does not end well. But he gives us a card key, which lets us open 2 of the other doors in this room. If you've played this casually, you probably go to every door and then find out they're all locked except for that one. So we come straight over to the old computer here, we use it. We don't actually have to go into the menu to use it, which is great. Any kind of key that we get just kind of gets used on where we need it. It's only key items that we have to go into the menu to use. You're going to be seeing me taking a lot of like really wide lines as well. Because we can't turn left, our movement speed is diminished somewhat. We're coming into the first liquor corridor here as well. Now the liquors are very dangerous because they have several attacks and they can easily take us out. But by doing that little quick step there, so I run forward with run held and then let go for a second, we can bait him into using that lick attack, which stuns him for a little second, and then we can kind of run past him pretty safely. But we're going to come into a room with 5 zombies in it, so I'm just going to kind of set myself up here. That's also unfortunate. So we are in caution now, so you'll see my turning speed is absolutely destroyed. So the fun fact is, if you aim and turn, it's actually faster than just turning normally in caution. So you're going to be seeing me do that a lot until we can get a heal. But luckily, we've got a free first aid spray coming up in the STARS office, where we're going to get another key item, the unicorn medal, which then gets us through to the spade key, which opens up a lot more rooms for us. But first we're going to solve this puzzle so we can get a key item on the way back. You can see it flashing there. So you want to push both of these statues into the opposite sides from which they started. And you'll hear it lock into place when you've pushed it enough. So like I say, turning whilst aiming is a lot faster than trying to do it whilst you're in caution. Like I say, it's very, very normal to take a lot of bites in this run because of our limited movement capabilities. But it's still fun to watch. Especially just to see Leon kind of spin on the spot for half an hour. The tank controls are definitely something you get used to. But like, if you are like myself and you've grown up with games like this, then you it's a acquired taste for sure. But there's that free first aid spray I was talking about. We do actually pick that up as standard, but I do like to keep hold of it for a little while before we're actually having to use it. We also get introduced here to Claire, who we obviously saw in the opening cutscene that we didn't completely skip.
It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all.
Claire is the brother of Chris Redfield, who you might know from other Resident Evil games. He was also one of the main protagonists in Resident Evil 1, so she's come to Raccoon City to try and find him, but he's already up and left, unfortunately.
Let's split up.
So she's stuck with Leon on his first day on the job.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it.
Ah yes.
That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
The radio we use a total of once in a cutscene. Alright, so we're going to leave that item there for a minute because we've come through this corridor 3 or 4 times. We're going to get it on the 3rd visit, I think it is. Don't quote me on that, it's hard to count it when you're running fast. And just doing a couple of spins on the stairs. Cheeky auto aim to get the line, and there we go. So we're going to get a little jump scare here, actually. These hands can grab us, and they will do a total of 2 damage if they grab us. So we just run by him real quick like that. Back into the liquor corridor, this dodge again. We run past him and hope for the best. The lunge is what we don't want because he will close distance on us very, very quickly. Ideally, we want him to try and swipe at us or hit us with his tongue. That stuns him in place and it lets us get a lot of distance on him real quick. So we use the unicorn medal, which drops the spade key there. I'm going to pick that up real quick, and then we're going to go back the way we came. On the way, we're going to pick up 2 key items. Excuse me, 3 key items. And we're going to try a little liquor dodge right here. So this is very specific. By moving to the right slightly, angling in such a way, we can bait the liquor into actually backing off and not attacking us for that 1 split second, so we can get that line and curve and come straight into the second room. I'm going to grab the crank, which we're actually not going to use for about 25 minutes or so. And as you can see, trying to get the lines when you can't see where you're going can be very tricky sometimes. And off we go. Job done. So we're going to go into this double door here, which we've passed a few times now. And we're going to get another key item. It's actually called the Virgin Heart, or the Red Jewel. When you pick it up, it's called the Red Jewel, but when you examine it, it's called the Virgin Heart. No idea why. It makes no sense, no difference whatsoever. It's just a red jewel. So we're going to pick that one up, and that's what's also dropped from when we did the statue puzzle as well. So we're going to pick one of those up upstairs also. So we're going to go back into the zombie room, and we're going to hope and pray I can get this dodge off. It is very volatile, I won't lie. It's unfortunate, but again, very, very normal to take a couple of bites here and there. If you ever try running this game and you obviously use Live Split and the Auto Splitter, download ASL VAR Viewer, because what it does, it will take game data and it will show it you in Live Split. So for instance, I can see my HP right now. That was unfortunate again, but no damage room, very good. And that basically just gives us a discard option to get rid of the spade key because we don't need it anymore. Straight run through, easy dodge. They're all too busy chowing down on a poor police officer over there. R.I.P. to man. He did his best. He did his best. Here comes another puzzle. So we need to move the bookcases in exactly the same way as it's shown on the wall there. Now in a PC version, don't quote me if it's different for the PlayStation version, there is some subtle differences. We have to move the first 2 bookcases to the right once. That solves the puzzle, opens it up, and we're going to get a key item, one of the plugs. And then we run all the way to the opposite end, and we come out the door. Very easy, very simple. I talk about the PlayStation version, there is some very subtle differences. For instance, locations of ammo, herbs, certain items. The PC version is the definitive and fastest way to run this game, if you are interested. As we can skip all of the door animations. We have to let it run for like half a second. So essentially, as soon as you see the door handle turn like that, we can skip it. So yeah, quick couple of auto aims through those rooms there with the crows. Lines us up very nicely to get through pretty much unscathed. Another tricky dodge here on the outside, but hopefully we can just get through pretty easily, so that was pretty good. Quick turn there before he grabs us, and we're off to the races. You're going to see that a lot where we probably looks like we're about to get grabbed or very close to being grabbed and getting out at the last second. It's what I like to call the blue steel dodge. So we're going to take this line straight through here and hopefully we can get behind the lady zombie and off we go. Straight over here, and then we're going to use the valve handle we just picked up when we get in range for triggering that hitbox, which puts the fire out, which means it unlocks a completely new room where we're going to use those red jewels. We're also going to pick up the diamond key as well, which is going to open up 2 or 3 more doors for us to go exploring. Now obviously we know where we're going, but the key system in this game, I think, is really cool. In all of the original games, actually, because it's the same in Resident Evil 1 as well, with the armor, the shield keys, all that kind of stuff. Quick auto aim there to change our trajectory. So we're going to run at this wall to bait that zombie over to the side, give him a little spinning action in front, and then run straight through. So you come to the right side first. Yep. Use one of the red jewels on the right side, spin, go over here. We're going to pick the key up whilst we go, and use the other red jewel. That opens up the middle, which gives us another plug that we're going to use later. It's a secret tool that will help us in about 15 minutes or so. Spin on the spot there just to get the line correct, and spin again, and then we can basically take that line all the way to the door. So a lot of the rooms you can just tell that we literally just run through. There's not a whole lot that happens in a lot of these rooms. You don't have to kill these enemies. The game kind of like tries to force you into situations where you kind of have to kill at least one, but you can just run through. If you know where the enemies will go, and you can kind of like base the lines, job done, and we're off. We're gonna go back the same way we came the first time around. We've been through this corridor 3 times already. Welcome to number 4. We're gonna go to the evidence room. Now the evidence room has a very, very volatile dodge in it. But first we've got to dodge this liquor again. Exactly the same line as last time. Instead of going into the small room there, we just carry on straight forwards. And back through the jump scare room from earlier, which we don't get jump scared in again, which is fortunate. We're going to go to the right hand side this time instead of to the left. Open this door here. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky. So there's 3 zombies here. I'm going to wait for them to shuffle a little bit. Go to the corner, auto aim, and that was actually perfect. I've not had that for a while. I'm going to take this herb as a safety precaution. I was in good steadfast with health. I was on 170, but I went out back to a full 200. It's a free herb, doesn't take too much time to get it. And then here's Marvin. Poor Marvin, we had him here, literally. And then, yeah, quick auto aim dodge there from the corner. Now we could have got that line a bit better and we could have gone probably straight to the door. But this is that works exactly fine as well. But we picked up the heart key there, which we're going to use on literally one door and then discard. And we're going to come over to this side now. Auto aim because there's a load of zombies there to get our line. And go straight for the double doors. Run straight forward. Hit right slightly. I did it a little bit too late there. But hitting right slightly there, he would have let us dodge that zombie. And we're going to spin there on the spot just so we can get the line for the door. Straight through, use the heart key, discard it, and we're off. Now we're going to go down into the parking garage, and we're going to meet a new friend. But first we need to pass some doggies. There's not really a dodge for this one, just pray they don't aggro, which he did. But luckily him going that side lets me auto aim directly to him and just get a straight line for the door. So here, meet Ada. Ada's looking for her boyfriend John. if you can
Sorry
believe
about
it.
that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
Who are you?
So again, we're gonna get a nice little cutscene.
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
Also, rest in peace,
I'm
Paul
looking for
Haddad,
some
the
guy
original
named
voice
Ben.
actor of
He's
Leon
one of those
Kennedy.
reporter types. Always
Don't get me
looking for
wrong,
scoop.
the latest
I
voice
heard he was
actor,
locked
Nick
up in the
Astopheles,
sidewalk, only
amazing,
with a car
but
barring
Paul
the
Haddad
entrance.
will always have a special
I've been
place in
trying
my
to
heart.
find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
Not a lot happening in this room. Very simple. We run all the way over to this side, do a little spin, and we're gonna push this van. The idea here is to get as close to the wall as possible to push the van, so we don't have that much to turn when we have to go through the door afterwards. And then Ada runs off.
Ada, wait!
And there's Leon's famous catchphrase. So we're gonna go into the cell block now, and we're gonna meet yet another character, Ben. Ben's a reporter. And we're gonna get a typical great
Let me
cutscene again.
guess.
I also
You must
don't
be
know
Ben,
why
Right? Get up.
Leon is
now.
so aggressive to this character, just
What do
because
you
he's in a
want?
cell.
I'm
It's,
trying to
it's,
sleep
it's
here.
absolutely crazy.
Is this the guy?
Ben, you told the city officials that you knew something about what's been going on, didn't you? What did you tell them?
And who the heck are you?
I'm trying to find my boyfriend. His name's John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella, based in Chicago, but he suddenly disappeared 6 months ago. I heard a rumor that he's here in the city.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want to tell you?
Okay, I say we leave him in there. Does anyone know where they put the key to this cell?
Like, for real, Leon,
I
I don't,
have it right
I
here,
genuinely
officer.
don't get the antagonizing
But
him,
I'm not about to
because
leave this
he's not
cell.
exactly doing anything.
Those zombies aren't the only things crawling around out there.
What was that?
And of course, that's our first introduction to
Like
the
I
big
said,
bad of Resident
I'm
Evil
not
2.
leaving this cell.
We won't get fully
Get
introduced
out of
until
here
later.
before you lead it right to me.
So we're currently on
Hey,
a
I'm not going
second name
anywhere.
basis right
I'm
now.
the only cop left alive in this building.
But what you've just heard
What?
there is someone called Birkin,
Look, if you want to live, then you're
and
gonna have
we're
to
gonna
leave
fight
with me.
him 3 or
But-
4 times.
Do you even know how to get out of the city? There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
All right, I'm going.
And Ada does the classic magic trick and legs it. The map comes up just telling us where we need to go, but first we need to get the manhole opener, and then we run off to find a manhole into the sewers. Because that's exactly what you need after dodging and running through a load of zombies, is a nice trip into the sewers to get even more dirty. So we use the manhole cover, open it up, and then we're going to go down. If anyone's got arachnophobia, look away now. But we've got some nice furry friends down here with us. But it's a very nice line, just following the wall, and we can dodge both of those with relative ease. Now we're going to solve half of a puzzle here. Those plugs we've been picking up, they go into this power box. If you played the remake, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to put 2 in just to clear our inventory, and then we're going to head back out. Now we're going to take control of Ada for a little while.
Ada? I don't think I've introduced myself yet. My name's Leon. I'm with the RPD.
And then Chad Leon throws the Riz on again for no reason whatsoever.
It's a dead end.
You think we can get upstairs through this shaft? Give me a boost. I'll go and check.
Now, a funny thing about this version, I don't know if it's because it's been up-rendered by the Gemini patch, but if you look at the top of the screen here, after the little transition, Ada floats in midair for a second. Watch it now. There you go. Nice little mid-air float for some reason. No idea why. It's just quite funny to see. Now if we're lucky, which we're not, sometimes the dog can go into the direction of this door that we need to go in. So we can get the auto aim off that way instead. But he went the other side, which is fine. We just use the other one to do a half turn instead. Now, apologies, I had to count that. You don't have to push these boxes all the way to the edge. So that first one you can push 6.5 times. Push the middle one straight over, and then we're going to push this one twice. You can see how they kind of line up on the left and the right there instead of the middle. You don't have to push them all the way, because once we put the water on, they get forced into the back there. So it saves a little bit of time. Each one of those would have another 2 pushes, more than likely, to push it all the way up to the wall. But by doing that, we save having to push both of the boxes. And it's just easier to do. Grab the club key and basically straight back out to Leon. Now we're going to use this dog here with the auto aim just to get the line correct, so go straight back through the door.
Leon, can you hear me?
Ada, did you find anything?
Right here.
So now Leon's going to get the club key for the police station, which is going to open our final doors in the police station, and then we're actually going to leave.
Hey, I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
What? Ada, wait!
Now of course you can see the key flashing on the ground there. We're going to do a quick spin and pick it up. And then we're going to go back. So we're going to go back the way we came, through the police station. And then we're going to go into the interrogation rooms. First we're going to get a nice auto aim off that spider, so we can carry on running down this wall. Another auto aim to do a half turn, and then up the ladder. Nice little spin. And yet again a nice little spin. You're seeing a pattern here, aren't you? Pretty much every room, barring a select few, we have to do a little spinning. Now, going back through, the dogs aren't there anymore, but a licker is. So we have to be very careful here. If we get lucky, which never usually happens, we can kind of bait him to the side here, but... Oh, jeez. That was too close for comfort. So taking a swipe is fine. You do not want to take a lunge. That lunge will take off about 60 HP. It hits several times. It doesn't look like it does, but the hitbox on that actually resonates. So you will take a hell of a lot of damage if you take one of those to the face. And if you're in caution, it can instantly kill you. Another reason why you do not want to be in caution for this run at any point. Okay, so we're going back through the office here. We're going to take the side here. There's a zombie on the floor, but we can just run past him. He just kind of stares at us as we walk past. There's a horde of about 6 zombies here, so coming to this side, letting them kind of bait themselves over to where I was standing, gives us that nice little angle there. We can just run straight past. We're going to take some damage in this room intentionally, but perhaps not. I was going to say we might be able to get the dodge, but we did not. That one's intentional. It's fine, because once we go into this room, discard the key. There's going to be a first aid spray waiting for us on the table, so it's a nice little free heal all the way back up to 200%. So taking damage up until this point, absolutely fine. Grab the plug, and off we go. Now we're going to go to the right, turn in straight away. Auto aim to do a half turn, in through this door. This is what we needed the club key for. The club key opens 3 doors and we use it on 2. Otherwise we just keep it in our inventory. Using the lighter on the side there, we're going to go middle, right and then left. If you want the full solution, it's 12, 13, 11. But middle, right and left works exactly the same. That drops the cog over in the corner. That was a nice little pickup, and then we're going to leave. That was unfortunate, so hopefully we can get this dodge by going at the back of him. Again, unfortunate, but it's fine. Gonna stun him a little bit, just so we can get past. That, you don't have to do that. Normally you'd probably just tank the damage, but given that we actually want to finish this run, I'd like to be doubly safe. And we're gonna go back out into the main hall. Again, auto-aiming for a Zoolander run is your best friend. Because we can't turn left, but auto-aiming is allowed. That kind of lets us turn left. It's a bit of a cheat, but it works. Running behind the liquor to get the auto-aim. Auto-aim again. Again, fine to take a slash, just as long as he does not lunge. If he lunges, just kind of run around him. You might have to run around him a couple of times, but taking a little slash like that, not a massive deal. Now you can find a power cord and put it on those shutters, but we don't go through either of those corridors again from this point forwards, so it's completely redundant. It's a nice little Easter egg though. We're gonna go up like what we was doing when we solved the puzzle in here for the library. But we're going to go through this side door now instead. We're going to go to what I assume is some sort of like clock tower kind of area. I actually don't know. And this is where we're going to use the crank that we picked up about 20 minutes ago. Like, remember that? Right near the start of the run? You use it once and you use it here. And it's just to get this staircase down. So we go straight up. And this is also where we pick the cog up for. So we're going to select the Magnum and equip it. And use the cog. That lets us press the button, which opens up the final hiding place for the final plug. That's going to let us out of the police station. Now what's great about this one is where it's hidden is a secret entrance. We're going to go straight back down to the cells, skipping the entire police station altogether.
Get away!
And our poor mate Ben, our best mate, unfortunately gets attacked by our other friend Birkin, which we heard screaming earlier. He's just saying hello to all the viewers out there. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go check up on him. We're gonna go see if he's okay. Something tells me he's not going to be okay though.
Ben! Can you still hear me? Come on, answer! Damn! I don't believe this. I almost got the story. Ben.
That little shoulder shuffle gets me every time.
The chief of police, a co-conspirator.
But essentially what Ben gives us here is a document that explains that the chief of police of the RPD was being paid off by Umbrella, and he knew everything to do with the events of Resident Evil 1 and 2, and kind of turned a blind eye to it. If you play the B scenarios after playing the A scenario, so this is Leon A, if you play Claire B, you actually meet the chief of police, and everything kind of links in together very nicely. I believe the canon, quote-unquote, storyline
God, what was that?
is Claire A, Leon B. So if you want to play it in an actual chronologically state, then play Claire first and then Leon.
That's where I'll find John.
Once you clear the A scenario, when you save your game, you unlock the B scenario.
Do you read me, Claire? We now have
And unlike the Resident Evil 2 remake, there is actually quite a bit of difference.
Heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
And Claire's obviously very thrilled about having to go into the sewers, as evidenced by that radio call. So we go back through the kennels, back into that manhole we opened earlier, past the spiders, praying we don't get poisoned, and then we're going to go into the room that we used the 2 plugs in earlier. Unfortunately, there's going to be a new friend waiting for us. This is the G mutant. This is what came out of Ben no more than 2 minutes ago. Oh, he's like a little baby. We're gonna shoot him in the face. So he's gonna try and latch onto us there. You can see his little babies. You can get them off before they start attacking you. I'm gonna try and get through this door very quick before I get any kind of damage. That's cool. Right, good. So, funnily enough, Resident Evil 2 is the only game that I can think of in the original trilogy that has genuine bullet drop-off. If the G-Mutant's too far away from you, your
What was that all about?
Magnum rounds won't
Running
do as
off
much
like that
damage
was
as they would do
reckless
up
and
close.
stupid. Those zombies are everywhere.
So it took us
Not to
5
mention that
rounds
thing that got banned.
to take the G-Mutant
there,
down.
Leon.
It
I
can
know.
take 4, sometimes it can take 6. I've even had it take 8
As an
before,
officer, it's
depending
my
on how
job to
close
look
you
out
are
for
to
you.
him.
But we're not going to get through this alive if we don't work together. Okay?
Now you see me trying to do the quick shots there. It can be volatile. There is a technique to it, but I won't lie. I'm a little bit rusty. But it's always very cool to see when it happens. But we met back up with Ada. She's going to follow us for a little while, and then we're going to take control of her again. So we're going straight into the corner, down the lift. And now we're going to meet yet another new character. This scientist who just runs away. Oh, poor Leon. Like a true gent, takes a bullet to the shoulder.
I have to talk to her.
So now we're in control of Ada again. First thing you want to do, unequip your handgun. Why? You might be thinking, but what if we get attacked? You're not going to need it. You literally go through 2 rooms with Ada, and then it's a cutscene, and then you're back to being Leon. The reason we unequip her handgun is because in the upcoming cutscene, if you have the handgun equipped, it will extend said cutscene by 1.5 seconds. So by taking the half second it takes to unequip it, this cutscene is a lot shorter. This is also the longest cutscene in the game.
Don't moan. You're the one who was with that cop, if I'm not mistaken. Identical.
So if anyone needs a bathroom break, now's the perfect time. But this is Annette Birkin.
Ada Wong. Ada Wong.
Annette Birkin is the wife of William Birkin, who developed the G-Virus, which has
One of the men from
caused
Chicago
all
who
of the
came to assist
monsters
with
and
G-Virus
zombies
research
we've
used
seen
to
so
put
far.
one's name as his password. Ada and John, I believe. How did you know? Who are you? Annette Birkin. My husband is the man responsible for the creation of the T-Virus. William Birkin. What? John's dead. He became one of those zombies.
Also, I appreciate that everyone's loving the Zoolander run. I really do like doing this run. It's really fun to show off. This is probably the ones that I've done. This is the second time Zoolander's actually made it into a marathon. It is normally an incentive, and it is really fun to do and really fun to explain. A lot of it isn't really explainable. You just kind of have to watch it because there's a lot of spinning on the spot. But it is really fun to do, and I really enjoy doing it. So I'm really happy that people are enjoying this right now.
None of this would have happened if they hadn't tried to steal his research away from him.
It's going to try and force us into watching a cutscene, but luckily we're on PC. We can skip those. We just can't skip the in-game ones. So on the PlayStation version and I think the N64 version, you can skip these types of cutscenes, and but you can't skip doors. In the GameCube version, you can skip doors but not any cutscenes, and in the PC version, you can skip the CGI cutscenes and the doors, which is why we play always on the PC version, because it's just the fastest. I'm gonna get into a little bit of a scrap there. Bye, Annette. We're never going to see her again. I guarantee it. So literally straight down the catwalk with Ada, down the ladder. And now we're back in control of Leon. And funnily enough, that little scream cutscene, that's actually a door transition. They were very sneaky, Capcom, when they made this. So We're going to do a little Michael Jackson there, do a little moonwalk. Just so we can set that line up and get to the door pretty quick. Spiders are in a good position there. Lets us auto aim so we can do a little half turn and get through the gate. Now hopefully we'll get the same again on this one. Not too bad, not too bad. Gives us a bit of a 3/4 turn there, which is very good. And now we're going to use that valve handle which we've had since the start. We're going to re-equip our handgun because we're going to get into a secondary boss. It's not exactly a boss fight. You can fight the boss normally if you have enough ammo, but there is a way of cheesing it. So we're going to come across a giant alligator or crocodile. But first we're going to go across the catwalk and take it back up because we're going to need that once we get back through and meet up with Ada again. So off we go. There's some herbs there if you absolutely need it, but when Ada patches Leon's shoulder up from that bullet wound that he's just kind of running around with, we get a free heal. We get free healed all the way back up to 200. So if you're on a low health, don't worry. Do exactly what I'm going to show you, and you'll get a free heal. But here's Croc. Or alligator. I genuinely don't know what the difference is. I think it's the size. But this one's a big boy, so we're just going to run away. That's it, we're going to run away. All the way up until we get to this little switch. Now you can see it's a switch because it's got a flashing light. We're going to wait for him to come around the corner. Now watch his nose, he's going to boop that wall 3 times. 1, 2. On the 3rd time, hit the switch. He then picks up the gas canister. 1 round. Job done. And we're off. You have to be very careful when you're hitting that switch for that canister to come down. Make sure you time it well. If you're unsure, do it early. It'll take a couple of seconds longer for him to pick it up, but whatever you do, do not do it late. If you do it late, his hitbox will automatically go over it, he won't pick it up, and if you're doing a run, you don't have enough ammo to deal with him, and you will die.
Quiet, Leon. I'll patch you up.
So that right there
That's 2 I
gives
owe
us
you.
200 HP for nothing. It's great.
I just found out. John's dead.
What?
Never mind. Let's just get out of here. The sooner the better.
So we find out John, Ada's boyfriend, is dead. And we're going to carry on. Like nothing's ever happened. Nice little spinner here. So we're going to pick up a medal, which is a key item. We need 2 of these. We're going to get the Eagle medal and the Wolf medal. You might remember those from Resident Evil 1 if you played that, but we're going to get them in the sewers this time instead of in books. And we're going to use the valve for the last time. That stops the fan up top from turning so fast so we can actually get up there and use that ladder. And then a straight run through the tunnel to the opposite side where we started. Now we're going to go into the far corner here. Now we're going to hope and pray that Ada does not jump up like that, because we're going to have to wait for her to jump back down now. If we go too far from Ada and we try and go through a door, the game won't let us. It will say we're too far away and we need to wait. So we lost a couple of seconds there, but it's nothing too major. Gonna go straight through. You want to be facing this. You can face it at a slight angle, but you still want to be facing it pretty much dead on. Use both of the medals we've just picked up, which drains the water, and that lets us leave the sewer section. Run straight forward from that angle. Let it run for a couple of seconds so you can kind of push yourself directly in front of the door, climb up and straight through. Come over to this corner over here. We're going to turn the power on. Again, the hitbox for this is really finicky. So don't worry if you're trying this run out and you have to spin on the spot a little bit. It happens. There's not a lot you can do about it. Sometimes you can get lucky and get the right angle, but most of the time you'll have to do a spin. And Birkin's back. He just wants to say hello, but we're not going to let him. We're going to have to shoot him 5 times. So by running to each side like that, we can bait it so it's a little bit faster. And then Ada finishes him with a triple tap. We're now coming to the last section of the game, the lab section. We've got a few tight corridors to go through first though, and a little boss fight beforehand. So Birkin's going to leave us alone for a little bit, but don't worry, he'll be back. Exit the cable car, straight to the right hand side through a second door. Straight to the end of this corridor, spin on the spot, come down this side. I was literally about to say what you don't want to do is have Ada shoot that zombie, because if Ada shoots the zombie, they don't stagger in the same way they would do if we did it. It's weird. But it happens. And I'm also out of handgun ammo, but that's not a problem because we literally don't use the handgun anymore. Run forward a little bit so you can get the nice line on the first aid spray. Come straight down here, pick up the magnum ammo. Out the door. We're going to run all the way to the end, jump in the cable car. Here we're going to pick another key up for the cable car. Who leaves the keys in the car for, you know? It's just silly. And get some more magnum ammo. So we're gonna use the cable car key here. But first, what we're gonna do is equip the magnum, combine to reload, use the key, and off we go. We're gonna skip a door transition and a cutscene. And poor Ada's just not having a good day.
Ada! Ada! Can you hear me? Come on, snap out of it!
She's in a zombie-infested town, she's found out her boyfriend's dead, she nearly got shot, and now she's been attacked by a massive monster. Again, not having a good day. But this is our second boss fight of this run. This is Train Birkin. Aptly named, it's Birkin on a train. Birkin takes 9 magnum rounds, which is why we reload before this fight. It's technically a 2-phase fight, but the amount of damage the magnum does, it basically skips over a little bit of the second phase. He's going to jump down, we're going to run over here. This is actually a very bad fight. So here, that was the 8th shot. So really we should have reloaded there. But because I was going in the menu to heal anyway, not a massive difference. We still worked it though. It wasn't too bad. Essentially what you want to do is unload a full magnum magazine into him. So that's 8 shots. Then you'll see he do his little transition into phase 2 where he kind of mutates slightly.
Come on!
In that time, he actually has iframes. So we use that to manually reload. It's the only time we'll manually reload instead of going into the menu. And that's because you're not losing any time by doing this. And it sets yourself up nicely for the next phase. He takes 1 more magnum shot after that, and jobs are good.
Welcome back.
But welcome to the final section of the game. This is the lab section.
We're inside Umbrella's secret lab. I'll go find something to treat that wound, so just rest here in the meantime.
But I'll only slow you down with these
Blue
inches.
Steel's too powerful. It's been banned in this run.
Save yourself.
I told you, it's my job to look after you.
But you'll be in danger if you stay with me. I know I've only known you for a short period of time.
We get a nice little
but I really enjoy
little
playing with
wholesome
you.
cutscene with Ada and Leon, despite knowing each other for 20 minutes.
I'm not capable of caring about anyone.
Leon found out Ada's boyfriend's dead and immediately turned on the Riz. Like, the guy is just a Sigma.
Wait here for me. I'll be right back.
Okay, so we're going to leave Ada here and we're going to go off. But first things first, I'm going to grab this herb in the corner. Why? Because I'm scared. Let's just put it that way. Okay, back up to 200% health. I'm also going to do... I'm not going to do it, apparently. Don't do this normally. I'm doing this to be safe. I'm going to drop the pistol, and I'm going to drop the knife. Yes, we're going to lose a little bit of time, but it's going to save this run. That's going to give us a few empty inventory slots, so we can pick some extra first aid on the way. Normally we'd have room for one first aid spray, but especially on a Zoolander run, you're probably going to need that at some point. So by doing that, it lets us pick up 2 first aid sprays, and then we also have room for a third herb if we get the chance to pick it up. Pick one up there. I'm going to pick the fuse up, re-equip the magnum, and use the fuse casing, which gets us the one and only fuse that's been left over in the labs for some reason. I don't know why everything's kind of frozen over. It's never really explained. It just kind of is. But this will let us get the power back online, which opens up several doors. So we're going to pick that up real quick, grab that and go. Off we go, back the way we came. It's going to put you in a weird line coming out of this door. Again, not really any kind of explanation for it. The game sometimes just gives you weird lines, depending on what kind of door it is. Sometimes they work in our favour, most of the times they don't. Activate the switch here, now the power's on, and we're going to get introduced to the Ivy zombies. But guess what? Unless you go in front of them, they are absolutely useless. If they don't grab you, they are harmless. So we can just run straight past them without having to worry. This is where it gets dangerous. I'm going to stop talking for a minute because I'm going to focus. Very good. Okay, there's 3 lickers in that room. In most other rooms that we've been in so far, there's been 1. And they were a problem of their own. Going into a room where there's 3 is a recipe for disaster. The strategy for that room, pick a god and pray. Essentially, you want to make as clear a line past them as you can if you know their positioning. Try and find a corner where you can do a little spin. And again, hope for the best. We're going to shoot this zombie here. You don't have to. It's just easier to get the card key if you don't have to kind of mosey on around him. Grab that and we're off. Auto aim to get through. And pray you hit the hitbox on that door because it is quite finicky. And we're going to go back, all the way back to where we picked up that fuse casing from and the first aid spray from earlier. That's going to get us our last key item for the game, and then it's literally the final stretch after that. So we'll be off. So we're going to go through the liquor room first. So hopefully by doing that, that's why we get the first aid spray. All 3 of those can lunge at you at the same time, believe it or not. Again, very dangerous. Luckily, we don't have to deal with them anymore, because after that, they disappear. They get replaced with zombies after this. But it's just a straight run, all the way back. Don't you love backtracking in games? This is the final dodge, other than going to the end boss. aim and shoot to get that one in the corner. I'm going to grab the first aid spray. I was about to say I'm going to grab the magnum rounds, but you want to be a bit finicky. It's fine. All the way over here. You need to put this light on, otherwise Leon will say he can't see the other key item we're going to pick up in a sec. I'm going to take damage on purpose here to push them out the way. Oh, the hitbox for this is annoying as hell. I'm going to take more damage here, but you know what? At this point, it's fine. This is a very bad room. This is a very, very bad room. I wanted to keep that first aid spray for the final boss.
You murdered my husband.
That's not going to happen.
What you're looking for.
However, there is some easy herbs we can pick up on the way.
Take it from me. This is my husband's legacy.
This is also why we drop both the handgun and the knife. It gives us 2 empty slots instead of 1, so I can pick up 2 herbs.
I'm talking about.
What?
You really don't know anything, do you?
But like I say, Annette's back somehow after falling. I don't know how much down that little chasm from earlier.
The reason why she came here is to obtain the G-Virus.
That's a lie.
No, it's the truth.
And we find out that Ada's a spy. Who would have thought it? A random woman you meet in a zombie-infested town that tells you no information
To get information about Umbrella.
is after a biological
That
weapon
can't
that
be.
could wipe out half of
I
the
know her.
universe.
Ada wouldn't do something like that.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care. You're about to die anyway. What happened?
And then Annette gets taken out by some steel piping. Rest in peace, Annette. We hardly knew you, but we're on a bit of a time limit here, so I hope you don't mind. We're just going to rob you and leave.
Self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted.
Now I'm going to use the first aid spray just because I'm in caution, so my turning speed isn't absolutely dreadful, because we're going to need it. And we're going to get a secondary long cutscene
Leon,
with Ada.
I've been waiting for you, Leon.
What are you doing?
You know what this is about, so just hand over the G-Virus.
Oh no, Annette was right, she's a spy. Who would have saw this one coming? Especially in 1998 when most of like these kind of storylines had a plot twist like this.
Now hand it over. Don't make me shoot you.
And I'm not just talking about games, I'm talking about films, TV, all sorts. There was all these kind of twists back then. I love the 90s.
Ada! Ada, I've got you. Don't give up.
Leon, it's over. Just let me go.
Shut up. You're gonna make it.
What I never actually got about this, thinking about it, is Leon's holding onto her with his shot shoulder. How is he not in agony right now?
I promised you that we would escape. You just have to help me out here.
I really wanted to escape with me, Leon. Escape from everything. Goodbye.
Ada!
He is a Sigma Chad. Also, rest in peace to his ankles. Like, who can kneel down like that? His ankles are screwed. Again, this guy, I don't know what his thought process is. He's got a biological weapon literally in his hand, and he thinks the best course of action
This is what everyone's been dying.
is to yeet it into the stratosphere. Yeah, nice one, mate. Like, that's not going to go anywhere. Anyway, we're going to leave before we cause any more damage. Okay, so I'm going to take the safety option here and grab these herbs. So there's 2 there. I'm going to get 1 there, and I'm going to get 1 in this next corridor. So this is where I'm going to get some naked zombies. They do more damage than regular zombies, which is why I'm killing them rather than trying to dodge past them. Gonna grab the other herb here. A nice, hopefully, little line here into the corner. Never mind. Use the MO disc. Okay, we're in a good standing. I've got 155 health. Technically speaking, this boss can kill me. But we're going to use those 2 herbs just to, if anything, stay in caution. Because our running speed is the same in caution. We don't want to go into danger. But this is the final boss. Welcome to G4. And like some of the other rooms I mentioned earlier, the strategy for this is pick a god and pray for Zoolander. We're going to run straight at him. Get 4 shots, hopefully, before he gets a hit on us. That's good. We're in a perfect spot here for the normal strategy. If I can get this turn correct, we can lock him up on the balcony. And he can't move. He'll try and jump at us, but the game won't let him jump down. And we can just unload with our Magnum. So I'm hoping I can get this. Okay, there we go. So we're good. We're good. Nice reload. There we go. Very, very specific foot placement on that. Now, if you can turn left, it's very easy. On the E in elevator, which is also spelled incorrectly, by the way, you want to be right at the top of it. And then once he transforms into the second phase, it's back up a little bit. And that will cause him to jump up like that. And we're coming up on time in a minute. Time. I was too busy explaining elevator and where to stand on elevator. I forgot time was coming up in a second. Also, PB. Let's go. 1 minute PB. So in-game time is a 57:01. I did have live split open at that time. It's a 58-second PB. Now I said I was very rusty. I used to have record in this category way back when. I'm talking like 2-3 years ago when this was first a thing. The record back then was a 56:22 in-game. It's now a 55:40 or thereabouts. So to get a 57, especially in a marathon setting, playing very safely in some areas, is very good. Getting that final manipulation there on the final boss was perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better run, to be honest. Very, very, really happy with that. And I'm glad to obviously be out here to help raise money for the food bank. If you can donate, please make sure you do so. I'm sure the guys are going to put that in the chat right about now with that command. Also hit exclamation mark. What's the thing? Donate, that's the one. Exclamation mark donate, exclamation mark food bank. Check it out. If you can donate, absolutely amazing. If not, keep it on file if you ever get a chance to. You know, everyone needs food at the end of the day. If you can help out, it's an amazing thing to do, even just by the tiniest bit. Honestly, it was a pleasure to do this run. I'm really glad I got to do the Zoolander run after hitting that incentive. Honestly, it's such fun to do. Absolutely amazing, and I want to just thank out for Fleet Fest for accepting me, letting me do this, having the chance. This is my first like marathon event in so long. I was so nervous for not doing it in so long, but you know, you vibe with it, you crack on, and yeah, like I say, it was a pleasure to be here. Absolutely loved it. I hope you guys loved the Zoolander run and just the Resi run in general. There's nothing much more for me to say other than, you know, my name's been SpenceSpeedruns. That's my hat on everything: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. I normally run Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I also dabble in a lot of PS1 games: Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. An old PS1 game from my childhood called Silent Bomber. A game called Medieval as well, if anyone knows that. Plus the Medieval remake on PlayStation 4. I do all sorts. I dip my toes in literally everywhere. But thank you so much to Fleet Fest for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed it and enjoy the rest
so
of the
nice
runs over
having
the
you.
course of the
Such
weekend.
an entertaining
Nice
run.
one.
Thank you for sharing it.